In a world dominated by technology, Alex, a fearless teenager with a knack for computers, found solace in the depths of the internet. One night, while navigating a dark web forum, Alex discovered a thread discussing a mysterious and supposedly cursed file named the X virus. Despite the forum members' warnings about the file's dangerous nature, Alex's adventurous spirit couldn't resist the allure of the unknown. With a mix of excitement and apprehension, Alex embarked on a quest to find the forbidden file. It wasn't long before a download link appeared on the screen. A wave of doubt washed over Alex as the mouse hovered over the link. Deep down, there was a nagging feeling that this was a dangerous game to play. Yet the temptation of uncovering the unknown was too strong to resist. With a racing heart, Alex clicked on the link, initiating the download of the X virus. As the progress bar slowly filled, a sense of foreboding crept over Alex, as if he was being pulled into a vortex of uncontrollable forces. As the download completed, Alex hesitated before opening the file. There was still time to delete it and pretend this whole adventure never happened. But curiosity won, and Alex double-clicked the file. Almost immediately, strange things began to happen. The computer screen flickered and distorted images flashed across the screen. A cold chill filled the room, and Alex felt a growing sense of unease. In the following days, Alex couldn't shake off the feeling of being watched. Shadows danced in the corners of his eyes, and strange noises filled the silence of the night. Sleep became elusive, and when it did come, it was filled with nightmares of grotesque creatures and dark, twisting corridors. As the days turned into nights and the nights into days, Alex became more isolated and paranoid. Friends and family became strangers, and strangers seemed like threats. The line between reality and imagination began to blur, and Alex found it harder and harder to distinguish between the two. In a desperate attempt to regain control, Alex dove deeper into the dark web, searching for a way to reverse the effects of the X virus. But the more he searched, the more he realized that he was trapped in a web of his own making. The X virus was not just a computer virus. It was a virus of the mind, and it was consuming Alex from the inside out. As the days went by, Alex's sanity began to unravel at the seams. The constant feeling of being watched evolved into a conviction that everyone around him was infected by the X virus. Alex became convinced that the only way to stop the spread of the virus was to eliminate anyone who came into contact with him. One fateful evening, convinced that his family was infected and posed a threat to the world, Alex made a decision that would haunt him forever. Armed with a kitchen knife, Alex embarked on a rampage, attacking his family in a frenzied attempt to save them from the virus. The scene that unfolded was nothing short of horrific. Blood splattered across the walls, screams echoed through the house, and Alex, once a loving son and brother, became a monster in the eyes of his family. When the police arrived, Alex was found in a catatonic state, covered in blood and mumbling incoherently about the X virus. As the reality of what he had done sank in, Alex was consumed by guilt and horror. He realized too late that the virus was not real, and that the real monster was not the X virus, but himself. The events of that night would haunt Alex for the rest of his life, a constant reminder of the darkness that lurks within us all. After the horrific events of that night, Alex was admitted to a psychiatric hospital for evaluation and treatment. As the days turned into weeks, and the fog of madness began to lift, Alex was forced to confront the reality of what he had done. The doctors explained that there was no such thing as the X virus, and that Alex had been suffering from a severe case of psychosis. As the truth sank in, Alex was flooded with a mix of relief and despair. Relief that the world was not, in fact, being taken over by a malevolent virus, and despair at the realization that he had destroyed his own life and the lives of his family based on a delusion. In the quiet of the hospital room, Alex had plenty of time to reflect on his actions and the events that led up to that fateful night. He realized that his obsession with the dark web and the allure of the unknown had led him down a path of self-destruction. It was a hard pill to swallow, but Alex knew that the only way to move forward was to accept responsibility for his actions and to learn from his mistakes. As the weeks turned into months, and Alex began the long road to recovery, he made a vow to himself to never again venture into the dark corners of the internet and to seek help if he ever felt overwhelmed by his own thoughts. It was a small step towards redemption, but it was a start. In the months that followed, Alex struggled to rebuild his life. He was haunted by guilt and shame and found it hard to look his remaining family members in the eyes. The memories of that night were a constant weight, pulling him down into a pit of despair. Despite the challenges, Alex was determined to make amends. He started attending therapy regularly and began to rebuild his relationships with his surviving family members. It was a slow and painful process, but Alex was committed to making things right. As the years went by, Alex found a sense of purpose in helping others who were struggling with mental health issues. He volunteered at a local mental health organization and started speaking out about his own experiences in an effort to raise awareness about the importance of seeking help. While the scars of the past would never fully heal, Alex found a way to turn his pain into a force for good. The journey to redemption was long and arduous, but Alex proved to himself and to the world that it was possible to come back from the brink and build a meaningful life after tragedy. If you enjoyed this creepypasta story, be sure to watch this next video on Kate the Chaser.